in our respective communities, in our respective schools, and areas of jurisdiction. And in identifying this problem, we were given three teams. These are on the school, on the administration, and in the community. And again, as we look for these problems, right, there are actually lots of problems. And one of the things that I did personally is to prioritize the major problems of the Philippines based on our basic education plan in the Department of Education. So in my case, what I did was to identify the issues and concerns not just in the division but in the region 3. Although it seems that we share the same problems and issues in the basic education implementation in the entire Philippines. So I have only 10 slides, and as a participant in the Knowledge Co-Creation Program, I have conducted field observations to identify and understand the pressing challenges in our education system. So in this presentation, I will share the key findings and shed light on the critical issues facing classrooms, schools, communities, and administration. So let's explore the path towards building a stronger future for the Philippine education. So on the classroom, well, these are the common problems that we experience. So I highlighted these 4 because these are actually the main problem. But if we address these, I think the other things will be just easier other than this. First is the lack of classrooms. The Philippines faces a significant shortage of classrooms. All of you will agree, including the previous presenters. Okay, leading to overcrowded classrooms and increased classroom to learner ratio. So these are all the problems, and so because of that, we do this number 2. We do shifting of classes. Due to the lack of classrooms, schools resort to shifting schedules which can disrupt the learning environment. It's actually problematic for the learners because it's not conducive to learning. Next, on classroom, I thought it's 4, it's just 2 pala. So the first problem on classroom is still in the makeshifts and temporary learning shelters that we make in lieu with the formal classrooms because of lack of resources. Because of lack of resources, we resort to this kind of temporary learning centers and makeshift classrooms for our learners. Inadequate infrastructure forces schools to utilize makeshift or temporary learning shelters which may not provide a conducive learning environment. Now, is this really a problem? It is a problem because learners are really affected by that. And they cannot concentrate and focus on the learning competencies required. And so, challenges in distance learning, before the COVID-19 hits us, that became the problem. The major problem in the learning recovery plan and in the implementation of the learning recovery plan, because as what the previous presenters have made mention, that it seems that the modular teaching and online teaching seem not to be effective. So in implementing distance learning, including limited access to devices and internet connectivity. In terms of the school problems, well, actually when you say school, it's actually a big word. When you say school, because it may encompass everything. The first problem I identified was problems with lot ownership. Difficulties in securing ownership of land for school establishment hinder the expansion of educational facilities. Although there are, just to inform everyone, there are allotted resources, finances, budget for the expansion of schools. But unfortunately, schools doesn't have ownership over the places, over where they are actually standing. So that's a big problem because the issues are political in nature. Second is lack of resources for school establishment. Insufficient resources such as funds and materials contribute to the difficulties in establishing new schools or improving existing ones. Well, that's the problem. And next, on the school, we have lack of learning resources. Limited availability of learning resources, including textbooks and educational materials, affects the quality of education provided. In relation to the question of Sir, a while ago about the quality assurance. I guess that's it. Who does the quality assurance of our learning materials? Well, it's actually, it should be the central office that should quality assure. But again, the duty to quality assure the materials are delegated up to the regional office level through the quality assurance division. And well, during the pandemic, because of too much demand of these books, the schools division in the municipal level are actually were discharged, they have been delegated to quality assure the materials. But unfortunately, we still resort to these modules being stapled every year. But we do not resort to actually publishing quality books for our learners. And so training needs among teachers, this is actually, to me, this is the thing that we should be focusing on. That's why in relation to the question I raised to Ma'am Chanel kanina, a while ago. So training needs among teachers lack necessary skills, particularly in distance learning and ICT, which are essential in the era of Education 4.0. Before we equip our learners, we should equip first our teachers. Well, the main problem because learners are not equipped because their teachers are not equipped. And on community and administration, I included here the lack of strategic planning in identifying